My name is Mark Fisher, and I'm happy to be in the show.
Do you work in Emeryville, live in Emeryville, both?
I work for Royal Calfee in Emeryville. I live in Oakland.
Okay, so you actually have a job in Emeryville.
Yeah, exactly.
And then you do art sort of on the side?
I do art as kind of another life, is the real truth. Yeah, I spend a lot of time with art. Don't get enough sleep. Don't tell anybody, okay?
And what's the work you have in the show?
This is St. Jerome and the Creole Queen, which is really a still life ultimately, but I try to be more narrative than just dwell on.
Who exactly is St. Jerome?
St. Jerome is a biblical scholar. How he wound up in the mix is kind of surreal. I was working on the still life, and his name just kind of came to me, and that was then that I looked him up on the internet and got clear on who he was, and it seemed to have something to do with the boat, which also isn't just a boat, but represents a lot of other associations.
The Creole Queen, it looks like sort of like a Mississippi riverboat.
Yeah, it's a little bit of an homage to my father, who's a painter, and he actually has riverboats up here. I'm from Louisiana, and he ended up doing a lot of work painting a lot of riverboats down there for the New Orleans Opera Company and all kinds of places. So it's an homage to my dad. In fact, the head of St. Jerome started to look like my dad, which was odd. Weird.
So this sort of was a journey that took you in several different directions.
Yeah, it really, fundamentally, it's a still life that deals with a hard, direct look at light and shade and trying to be accurate with form in the interest of trying to appreciate what's in front of me rather than put anything in between, just directly appreciating what I'm seeing. And then on the flip side of that, there's the whole world of associations and my own interest in spiritual matters and things like that.
Was the St. Jerome, was there some sort of model for that? Was it a sculpture or a picture?
Yeah, I think it's the plaster cast that I used is actually of a Roman politician named Vitellius. And I haven't even looked him up yet. His pose as an authoritarian figure kind of launched him into I think that's why I chose him, and the fact that he was also a human face and a human head, and I think most artists are trying to learn how to paint and draw human beings too.
So is this your first year in the show?
No, I've been in the show in and out for about 13 years now. I've worked in Emeryville about 13 years, and I've entered every year, and I've been lucky to get in most years. And I love being in this show. I just had a ball. For some reason, I'm really resonating with tonight.
Do you think the city of Emeryville supports the arts?
I think I try to be in a lot of art shows every year, and I think the city of Emeryville just does an amazing job with this. I mean, I'll tell you honestly, I'm in no other show where there's banners on the street advertising the show, and I really appreciate it, and I think a lot of artists here really appreciate it. We very much appreciate it.
Well, Mark, thank you very much. Appreciate it. All right.
Okay, I'm Caitlin Carreras.
And do you live or work in Emeryville?
I work in Emeryville.
Do you have a studio or something like that?
I was working on Hollis Street in my studio when I created this.
And it's called Pink Mood?
Yep.
Can you kind of describe it to us?
Sure. So basically the painting is a continuous line drawing, and it's a friend and I were drawing each other, and I took those two drawings and I put them together, and I created the painting so it became much larger than these line drawings, and I put the colors in it that represented the mood that I wanted to express. I was really emotional while I was painting it, and I felt like it just exposed myself, and that was exciting.
So a line drawing that's just a drawing by hand or something like that?
A continuous line drawing is when you don't take your eyes off the person and you just allow your eye to communicate with your hand. So the point is your eyeball looking at the person, and you go inch by inch.
How did you combine the two? Did you redraw them or something?
Basically, I decided to put them together in a space that I felt like they came together as one. And so, in a way, like a tattoo or something on my arm, there's this experience that I had had.
I see. Is the woman in the painting you?
Yes.
Oh, it is.
Yes.
And what is the pink? Is the pink mood? Is that a certain feeling that you get, or is that the color?
I feel like it's the color, and the mood is because when I was painting it, I was emotional, and yes.
So you're not that old, so you probably haven't been in the show very many years, I take.
The first time I exhibited was when I was 18 years old, and I was in it 4 times since. So.
And so you said you have a studio in Emeryville, so do you do art for a living?
I am a full-time artist and a yoga teacher. So I've done art. I went to Rhode Island School of Design, and then the first time I started and knew I wanted to do art was when I was 3. So.
Lifelong ambition then.
Exactly.
And do you think Emeryville's a good place for artists?
I do. I think that the Bay Area is full of so many diverse people and unique people that I feel at home and wonderful here.
Were you originally from the Bay Area and went to the Rhode Island School of Design?
Yeah, I grew up in the Berkeley Hills in a beautiful geodesic dome that my dad built. So both my parents went to Cal.
Very cool.
Yeah.
You going to continue to be in the show?
Yes, if I can get in. They jury the art, so every year it's exciting to see what they choose because, it's all artists that come in and say, this is like really good or this is not so good, so.
When they come in to jury you, do you have multiple pieces that you show them?
Exactly. You get to show them all the work that you're currently working on. Yeah.
And they selected this one?
They selected it.
Were you nervous when they were looking at it?
I always get really excited, and as a result, I think it feels like you get nervous as well, because you're like, this is what I've been working on, this is what's important to me, I hope you find it important too, but you never know.
Do you think young people should go into art?
Definitely. If you love it, you should do it, and it will work out in the end, because you'll always have it, so support yourself, but gotta do your art.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Good luck with everything.